Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Ritakshi, and in this video I'll be discussing about nutrition for the elderly. As we age, our nutritional needs change. So it becomes very important for us to maintain a healthy and a balanced diet needed to support our overall health and our well-being. As we age, there is more degeneration than regeneration in our body. So this aging process has an effect psychological, physiological, and immunological functions of our body. So in this video, we'll talk about the nutritional considerations that can be useful for the elderly. Now let's quickly look over some of the nutritional changes that occur in older age. First is decreased caloric needs. As we get older, our caloric needs decrease. Now, the calories usually decrease by 10% per decade after the age of 50 years. This happens because there's decreased physical activity, there's decrease in muscle mass, there's slowdown of metabolism. So, to maintain a healthy weight, elderly people need fewer calories, but they still need all their nutrients maintained. Second change in elderly is usually change in taste and smell. So as we get older, there's usually sensitivity to smell and taste, and this can affect their food choices. So they could not like the smell or taste of certain food, and this they would usually then eliminate from their diet. Another change that occurs is changes in nutrient absorption. Aging can affect the body's ability to absorb certain nutrients. These could include vitamins like vitamin B12, some minerals like calcium, vitamin D, and this usually can lead to deficiencies in our body. Another problem that elderly people face is dental problem. Now, dental problems such as missing teeth or ill-fitted dentures can affect their ability to eat food because they might have difficulty chewing their food, or they might even have difficulty swallowing their food, and this could lead to a problem while they eat and have deficiencies also. Chronic health conditions. Now, older people tend to have more chronic health diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, or kidney disease. So this can all lead to some dietary needs, dietary changes, and also restrictions as well. So we have to make sure that what they eat and how much they eat is according to the conditions that they have. Another issue that elderly have is usually interactions of the medications that they're consuming. Now, elderly people are usually taking medication for some disease or some problems that they are facing. So what happens with medication is that usually they interfere with the absorption or the utilization of certain nutrients in our body. Let's talk about the caloric intake that's needed in elderly age. So calorie intake usually depends on your gender, on your physical activity, your age, your metabolism, your BMR. So as you know that as we age, our calorie intake decreases, but it's still important to have adequate amounts of nutrients. Older adults usually need less calories because of less physical activities and a slower metabolism than when they were younger. But it's still necessary to maintain a balanced diet and enough calories to survive and to function properly. Now, we have to make sure that they get at least, for female, around 1600 to 1800 calories, and for men like 2000 calories per day. But if that is not possible, we can go a little bit down. But we have to make sure that we do not go below 1200 calories per day for the elderly. Older people might require more protein in their diet. This is because they need to have more muscle mass because they are usually degenerating and there's less storage of protein in the skeletal tissue, and their muscle mass is going down. So there's wasting of muscle. So to prevent and to maintain healthy muscle, we need to give them more protein in their diet. Now, usually it's said that female require 0.9 grams per kilogram per day protein, and male require 1 gram per kilogram per day of protein. Now there's also some recommendations that say that the elderly people can consume between 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram per day of protein. Good sources of protein come from lentils, beans, minced meats, lean meats, poultry, eggs, fish. We can have nuts and seeds. Also some dairy products like cheese and paneer. Low-fat yogurt is a good option as well. Next is fats. Now, as we get older, our needs of fats decreases as well. So, as our calories are usually decreasing, our amount of fat intake also increases. And usually if we take too many fats in an elderly age, this increases the risk of getting other diseases. So it's important to remember to limit our fat intake to less than 25% of total calories that we eat. And also we have to make sure that we don't consume saturated fats, and we should focus more on monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. We should make sure to consume complex carbohydrates because complex carbohydrates are a very good source of energy, fiber, minerals, and vitamins. And they are going to provide us with energy that we need throughout the day for our body functions. We should make sure that 50 to 60% of our calorie intake comes from carbohydrates. Now, some good sources of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, are cereals, bran, rice, and also we can have fruits and vegetables. Next is fiber. Now, fiber is a very important component that is required for a proper good digestive health, and it's also required for preventing constipation. Now, constipation is a very common problem that occurs in elderly age. It's recommended that older adults consume around 25 grams of fiber per day. Now, good sources of fiber come from whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Calcium and vitamin D are very important nutrients that are required to maintain a good bone health and to prevent osteoporosis. As we get older, there's usually increased requirement of calcium and vitamin D because there's usually a decreased absorption and decreased intake of calcium. There's also decreased exposure to sunlight that decreases your intake of vitamin D, and women, as they get older, usually during menopausal especially, they also have lower vitamin D levels. So it's necessary to properly have an intake of vitamin D and calcium, and it's recommended to take 1200 milligrams of calcium per day and around 800 international units of vitamin D per day. Good sources of calcium include dairy. Now you can have skimmed milk and skimmed or low fat or non-fat versions of dairy products such as yogurt and cheese. You can also include green leafy vegetables, whole grains, and you can have fortified foods. Now for vitamin D, in addition, you can also take fatty fish, egg yolks, and of course fortified foods and juices. The nutrients that we should make sure that elderly people have adequate amounts of include vitamin C, vitamin B, and vitamin E. Now these are all antioxidants, so they are very good for enhancing health in elderly. Also, we should make sure that their vitamin B12 levels are good because they could also have deficiencies of vitamin B12, and this could lead to pernicious anemia. Also, we have to make sure that their folate and their iron levels are good. Make sure to check vitamin B12 levels. Now, vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to pernicious anemia. Also, vitamin B12, folate, and vitamin B6, these all prevent depression, cardiovascular diseases in elderly. Some benefits of taking omega-3 fatty acids is that it decreases your cholesterol levels, decreases triglyceride levels, decreases your blood pressure, and increases your strength in bones. Some good sources of omega-3 fatty acids include flax seeds, flaxseed oil, walnuts, almonds, fatty fish, and fish oils. Adults may be at higher risk of having dehydration, and this is due to their body's ability to retain water. As we age, our body water decreases. Then there's also some factors like medications. Now, some medications usually eliminate the fluids from our body. It's very important to drink plenty of fluids throughout the day, because your kidneys need water to filter toxins and waste from the body. And it's also very helpful in getting relief from constipation. It prevents constipation. In fluids, you can have water, and instead of water, you can include milk, low-fat milk products. You can have buttermilk, clear soups, and other unsweetened drinks. We have to make sure to consume nutrient-based foods. It's true that as we age, our calorie intake, calorie needs decrease, but our nutritional needs remain the same or sometimes even get increased. In conclusion, nutrition is a very important aspect when it comes to the health of an older adult. So by choosing foods that are rich in protein, fiber, calcium and vitamin D, maintaining their calories and taking right amounts of carbohydrates, less fats, and hydration, we all can maintain proper health and well-being of an elderly. Now, all these requirements will also make sure that as they get older, they don't have any deficiencies and they don't have malnutrition. Thank you for watching this video on nutrition for elderly. I hope that this video was helpful, and if you have any elderly at home, then you should make sure that their nutrition is on point, and for their well-being and for their overall health, what kind of foods you should give them, and you can educate the elderly adults on how they should maintain a healthy, balanced diet. Make sure to like this video and to share this video with others so that they are also informed about this. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more informative and for more health related videos like this. Thank you for joining in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.